maybe let's go with maybe something more like a lizard tone. So we want something green, and then if we want a lizard, I would imagine this thing is going to have some kind of a snout to it, maybe a head that it's a bit more curved like this. And then we start kind of correcting. If we had done some small misalignments, so this one is a bit too big, maybe we want the lizard to have these kind of bending back legs with claws, so that means that maybe I would want to have something to show that here, something like this. I would actually say that this hand can be a bit smaller here, this one can be a bit bigger. I would say that maybe if we want a lizard man, one of the things that if I'm not happy with the torso, I would, for example, I want to make it a bit more bulky. I would just do this, then combine the head again, and then fill up the colors here just to make the whole thing a bit larger. I would say that we want it to be a bit more threatening, something like this. You can see that slowly it's going to start showing off, something like this. Then at this point I would say let's do some darker colors that are going to be our shadowy parts, and then brighter ones that are going to be our highlights. And again, let's say that we want something like this. I would say that here it's going to be the torso. Maybe it's going to have some pants up to this point. And then it's going to have an armor here, something like this. I actually think we can do a bit better by getting the hand a bit higher, moving this. And again, it's a trial and error process. You would not be, normally you will not be able to do it straight away, but just don't get discouraged. Say something like this, and then something like this. So we have something like this. A bit of yes, it's getting somewhere. Still a bit looks a bit funny to me, but I think it's we're getting a bit more. And then we slowly start filling in stuff. Let's say that we want this to be sorcerer, maybe. Then we want some blue colors. So this means that maybe it will have a robe. It's going to be up until here, even though it kind of looks like a skirt. Then we just see its legs, and I'm kind of course, now I'm cheating because just to speed up stuff, so I'm hiding the legs, but again, it's just a matter of choosing colors. Then let's make some folds and see that, you know, currently I think this one was quite okay. As you can see, we're starting to get something, but still, I kind of think that this looks a bit too weird to figure out. A crocodile wizard. A lizard wizard. I like that. It's then in that case we would have something like this, and then let's see that maybe this is going to be its face. Let's just put a bit of green here. It's a bit too big. The snout kind of starts to look good. Let's say now would be a good time to figure out where the sun is shining from. Say again, this way would make more sense. So, and I would say that actually this one is a bit too bright. That's a bit better. Just figure out something like this. This part is going to be darker. Let's make something like this, so we can have some dark spots here, and we can show that these parts here are darker. Again, this is going to be a darker part, darker. And then again, as we were talking about, the bottom part is going to be something like this. Then we want some folds, to bring some folds in here. Because this is a robe, it needs to be something like this. And of course we are more than this, and then because the snout of course is going to be occluding, I would say that this is a bit too much. Then let's say that we show that the sleeves are above, meaning that we also want a bit brighter color here to visualize that. Yes, something like this. Let's see if this looks good. Nah, this does not look good, but maybe we can have some here being like, okay, the whole thing is that starts to look good. We just choose and try out stuff and get a feeling for what works and what doesn't. Maybe this doesn't. We can test it out. And then, of course, maybe currently the legs, I kind of stopped doing stuff for them. Do some fingers there. We don't need that much because this is a kind of very low resolution one, something like this. I think you can do better with the legs if we want it. And then maybe the same thing we can do with the fingers. It can have sharper claws or we just leave it. Yeah, that kind of looks correct. Maybe this doesn't. It's just experimentation until we feel that we're happy with the results. Do something like this. And then, because this is our lizard wizard, I think it needs its lizard wizard staff, which we are going to make in a new layer. This. Again, we're sketching. A lot of this is gonna be deleted. Sketch, sketch, sketch. Might look weird now. I would even say that we would get this. And let me just see how we put it here. This is a nice thing to use layers because we can do something like this easily. And of course, I would have said that kind of drew it maybe a bit too thin. But I actually like the fact that it's so. Maybe we can have on top of it some kind of crystal or a whole plane. This was a bit too. Yeah. Let's start with this as a base and then give the. As you can see, I'm reusing a lot of colors, so I don't want too many colors because then if we want to animate something, then it's just gonna be more of a pain. Something like this. And currently I'm actually, I don't think it looks like he is holding it that well. So let's add a bit here. I think we can have something like this here. Yes, that looks much better. We'll have something like this, and you just clean it, remove some pixels. Maybe here we can also add a bit of darker ones. Make it pop more. And make brighter ones around just to show them something like this. And again, darker ones here. Let's say that then we can actually merge down these. We don't need it to be. And we more or less started to see some nice character. We can make him evil. That's a bit too evil. Make him a bit less evil. That's a bit too much. He looks a bit too evil for my tastes, but I mean, I think it's a nice, yep. So something like this, and you can see that we started with something like something that, oh, sorry, that was completely different. It was a knight, and then we ended up with a lizard. And of course, we can continue refining this until we're absolutely happy with it. And then proceed to animate it to make the whole thing stand out. We can add some flames here. Oops. Something like this. Add more stuff until we are happy. Or idle animation, so the moving. Yes, this is for this. This is for this video, and see you in the next one.